You may be surprised to learn that rabbits are the fourth most farmed animal in the world, and 1.2 billion are slaughtered every year. Intensive farming methods are used, and the main producers of rabbit meat are Italy, Spain, France, and China. Now, according to animal charity Compassion in World Farming, over 480 million are slaughtered every year in China, whilst the figure for the EU is 326 million. Intensive rabbit farms, which we will also refer to as factory farms, are designed to produce large quantities of rabbit meat and often fur at the lowest possible financial cost. In the EU, there is currently no species-specific legislation which protects the welfare of farmed rabbits. A few EU countries do have their own regulations. However, whether you believe they're sufficient is of course subjective. Rabbits are actually the second most farmed species in the EU, and they're bred for both their meat and their fur. They're commonly kept in sheds which have no natural sunlight, and you'll have about 10 to 20,000 growing rabbits per shed, as well as about 500 to 1,000 breeding females. They're kept in small, overcrowded cages, and each rabbit will have less space than an A4 piece of paper. Rabbits naturally require a lot of exercise, however in these low cages they can't even move normally or adopt typical postures such as rearing up or turning round naturally, stretching out or hopping. To make matters worse, they're fed high energy food which is intended to make them gain weight, but it means that they have no way of releasing this energy. And the lack of exercise also leads to weakened bones. The babies are not given long to live either, as rabbits are sent to the slaughterhouse at around 63 days old or just over 2 months old. They will never have experienced life outside of their crowded wire cage in an intensive, artificially lit shed. Personally, I believe that the conditions that the rabbits are kept in are inhumane and unnecessary, an example of human greed beating morality and conscience. We have tried to represent both people and organisations who are both pro and anti-intensive rabbit farming, as well as those who occupy a middle ground or offer an alternative solution. We have found it much harder to find people who support intensive rabbit farming. However, we have tried to solicit their views. So why won't they respond? Personally, I think it's because the people who are associated with these farms and profit from them probably know deep down that they aren't morally right, so they don't want to be seen on TV associated with them. They are, however, happy to profit from them.